Dealerships across the United States are freaking out, and they do not want you to know why. Trucks that once sold out within days are now collecting dust on lots. Incentives are exploding, cashback offers are stacking, and sales teams are practically begging buyers to make a move. So, what went wrong? From electric gambles to outdated workhorses, these are the 7 pickup trucks that no one wants in 2025. If you are in the market, this might be your best shot at a monster deal. Let's break it down. Jeep Gladiator. This truck had all the makings of a breakout hit. It combined the heritage and rugged off-road DNA of the legendary Jeep Wrangler with the everyday practicality of a mid-size pickup truck. On paper, it was a genius move, a go-anywhere vehicle with the capability to haul, tow, and carry gear across any terrain. The early hype was strong. Adventure seekers, weekend warriors, and overlanders rushed to dealerships to get their hands on the Gladiator. The excitement was real, but it did not last. Fast forward to the present day, and the Jeep Gladiator is quickly becoming one of the biggest headaches for dealerships across the United States. In fact, sales have dropped by more than 50% since the year 2021. That is not a dip, that is a collapse. Rows of unsold Gladiators now sit untouched for months at a time, with some dealers struggling to sell even a single unit. First, let's talk about pricing. The Gladiator is one of the most expensive mid-size trucks on the market, especially when you start looking at higher trims. Fully equipped models easily soar past $50,000, putting it in the same price range as more advanced and more refined full-size pickups. When shoppers compare a Gladiator to a well-equipped Ford F-150 or Chevrolet Silverado, the value proposition falls apart instantly. Even a fully loaded Toyota Tacoma comes in several $1,000s cheaper, and it rides better, drives smoother, and feels more modern. And that brings us to the second major issue, the daily driving experience. The Gladiator shines in the dirt, but suffers everywhere else. Its solid axles and off-road suspension make it a beast on the trail, but a nightmare on pavement. The ride is harsh and jittery. The steering is vague and disconnected. The fuel efficiency is worse than some full-size trucks. And when it comes to highway comfort, the Gladiator ranks near the bottom of its class. Buyers who thought they were getting a fun and functional daily driver soon realized they were stuck with a weekend-only vehicle. Then there is the tech, or the lack of it. While rivals like the Ford Ranger and Chevrolet Colorado have introduced sleek new interiors, bigger touchscreens, and more driver assistance features, the Gladiator has remained largely unchanged since its launch. The cabin feels outdated. The infotainment system is basic, and the overall user experience is underwhelming for a vehicle at this price point. In an industry that is constantly evolving, the Gladiator is standing still and paying the price. Dealerships are fully aware of the problem. They are slashing prices, throwing in cashback offers, and extending financing deals just to get these trucks moving. In some regions, you can find Gladiators with more than $10,000 off the manufacturer's suggested retail price. But even with massive discounts, inventory continues to rise. And while the Gladiator is failing for being too rugged, the next truck failed by going too futuristic. Ford F-150 Lightning. When Ford Motor Company unveiled the F-150 Lightning, it was hailed as a revolutionary leap into the future. It combined America's best-selling truck with an all-electric powertrain, silent torque, and cutting-edge technology. On paper, it sounded unstoppable. It offered up to 580 horsepower, 775 pound-feet of torque, and an estimated driving range of over 320 miles on a full charge. It could tow up to 10,000 pounds and even power a house during a blackout. Ford believed this truck would be the face of the electric revolution and the beginning of a new era for work vehicles. But here in the real world, something has gone very, very wrong. Despite the bold specs and media buzz, dealerships across the United States are overflowing with unsold F-150 Lightnings. Rows of them sit untouched on lots, and sales have slowed to a crawl. According to multiple industry sources, the Ford Motor Company is losing up to $22,500 for every Lightning it sells. Yes, you heard that right. Ford is paying dealers just to take the trucks off their hands. That is how desperate things have become. We ran the numbers, watched the lots, and connected the dots. Now you know what the dealers don't want you to. If that kind of breakdown matters to you, consider subscribing. The first issue is range. The advertised 320 miles sounds great until you try to tow something. Real-world use reveals that towing even a modest trailer can cut that range in half or worse. Suddenly, that long-distance haul becomes a gamble. And truck buyers are not willing to roll the dice on reliability. Range anxiety is real, especially for people who depend on their truck for work. Then there is the matter of cost. Fully loaded models easily surpass $100,000. Even the lower trims carry hefty price tags that rival high-end sport utility vehicles. Yes, there are federal tax credits and dealership incentives, but many buyers still feel the Lightning is simply overpriced for what it delivers, especially when they can get a gas-powered or hybrid F-150 for far less money. The complexity of the truck has also become a major obstacle. Selling an electric vehicle is not like selling a traditional truck. Dealerships must educate buyers on charging infrastructure, range limitations, installation of home charging stations, and long-term maintenance differences. Some dealers are so overwhelmed by these challenges that they are outright refusing to accept more Lightning allocations, despite cash bonuses from Ford. They know the trucks will just sit. And let's not forget resale value. The used electric vehicle market is volatile, and depreciation on electric pickups is proving to be steep. Buyers are nervous, and dealers are feeling the pressure. Even with massive markdowns, inventory is not moving like it should. The Lightning was supposed to be the future. Instead, it has become a cautionary tale, a high-tech truck with high expectations and even higher disappointment. For now, the dream of an all-electric workhorse remains just that, a dream. Now let's go from futuristic to familiar, because the next truck has been around forever. And that's the problem. Chevrolet Silverado 1500. Once celebrated for its blue-collar roots and bulletproof dependability, this truck is now struggling to keep up in a segment where evolution is everything. It's not that the Silverado has suddenly become a bad truck. It hasn't. It still has solid V8 options, strong towing capabilities, and a legacy that runs deep. But legacy alone doesn't sell anymore, especially when fresh competition is redefining the standard. The Chevrolet Silverado 1500 has stood as one of the most trusted names in the American truck market. It was the workhorse that delivered. It had the power, the payload, and the durability to handle job sites, weekend towing, and everything in between. With a no-nonsense design, a reputation for reliability, and a price that undercut its competitors, the Silverado became a favorite among working-class buyers across the country. But in the year 2025, something has changed, and not in a good way. Today, the Silverado is no longer the unbeatable staple it once was. Instead, it has become a cautionary tale of what happens when a bestseller fails to evolve. Right now, there are well over 100,000 Silverado 1500 units sitting unsold on dealership lots across the United States. That number represents one of the highest inventory backlogs in the entire full-size pickup segment. Even dealers that once couldn't keep Silverados on the lot are now slashing prices just to get them moving. The biggest issue lies in the Silverado's aging design. The last full redesign happened in the year 2019. That may not sound ancient, but in the world of pickup trucks, a 5-year-old platform feels outdated, especially when rivals like Ford and Ram are rolling out major updates every couple of years. Step into a modern Silverado and the problem becomes obvious. The cabin still features hard plastics, a relatively small touchscreen, and a layout that feels more like 2015 than 2025. Buyers expect more now, especially when full-size pickups can cost upwards of $60,000. They want refined interiors, massive displays, hybrid or electric options, and smoother rides. The Silverado has lagged behind in all of these areas. Its performance is still solid, yes. Towing and payload numbers are competitive. But the truck no longer leads in any category. Ford offers better towing in several trims. Ram provides a luxury-grade cabin experience. And even Toyota is now pushing hard with its redesigned Tundra. The Silverado, it's stuck in neutral. Chevrolet has been slow to adapt, and it's showing in the numbers. More than ever, buyers are walking into showrooms expecting innovation, only to walk out unimpressed. And that lack of innovation has turned the Silverado into a truck that's easy to skip. Dealers are feeling the heat. Across multiple regions, discounts on the Silverado 1500 now exceed $5,000 off the manufacturer's suggested retail price. But even with all of that, sales remain sluggish. Buyers want more than a discount. They want a truck that feels like it belongs in the present. For those who need a basic, tough truck and don't mind the dated interior, this might be a good time to strike a deal. But for everyone else, the Silverado has become a symbol of missed opportunity. If the Silverado is the outdated classic, the next truck is the flashy sibling nobody's willing to pay extra for, GMC Sierra 1500. This truck was built to be the refined sibling of the Chevrolet Silverado, more stylish, more upscale, and packed with just enough premium features to convince buyers it was worth the extra money. For years, that formula worked. Buyers who wanted a truck that could still tow, haul, and handle tough jobs, but who also wanted a more polished experience behind the wheel, gravitated toward the Sierra. From the available Denali trim to the flashy chrome finishes, this truck positioned itself as a classier alternative in a segment known for grit and muscle. But today, that premium image is starting to crumble. Across the United States, dealerships are struggling to move thousands of unsold GMC Sierra 1500 trucks. Industry data shows that dealers are currently sitting on more than 50,000 units, with an average supply exceeding 116 days. To put that in perspective, anything over 90 days is considered an oversupply. Over 116 days, that's a serious inventory crisis. So what went wrong? The core problem is simple: value. The Sierra shares its platform, powertrains, and most major features with the Chevrolet Silverado 1500. That means buyers are paying thousands of dollars more for what amounts to different styling, slightly better interior materials, and a nameplate. Mechanically, the trucks are nearly identical. Once consumers figure that out, the decision becomes clear: buy the Silverado and save the cash. Price confusion has also turned into price fatigue. Shoppers are walking into showrooms expecting a luxury truck experience, only to find that the Sierra's cabin feels outdated compared to new arrivals. While Ram's latest 1500 model offers real wood trim and a near-luxury ride, and Ford's F-150 delivers cutting-edge tech with massive touchscreens and hybrid options, the Sierra still relies on hard plastics, conservative design, and limited innovation. That's not what luxury truck buyers want in 2025. Dealerships are doing everything they can to change the narrative. 0% annual percentage rate financing, extended warranty coverage, cashback rebates, and bundled maintenance packages are all on the table. High trims like the Sierra Denali and AT Fu are seeing some of the biggest incentives in the full-size segment right now. In some markets, buyers can shave off more than $5,000 from the manufacturer's suggested retail price and still drive off the lot with added perks. But even with aggressive discounts, the Sierra 1500 remains a tough sell. Many buyers who were willing to pay extra for refinement are now turning to luxury sport utility vehicles instead. Others are opting for the more affordable Chevrolet Silverado and using the savings to customize their trucks exactly how they want. The Sierra is being squeezed from both sides, priced too high for practical buyers and not premium enough for luxury-minded shoppers. This isn't just a sales slump, it's a brand identity crisis. And if General Motors Company doesn't refresh the Sierra quickly and convincingly, it may lose its place in the premium pickup conversation entirely. But at least the Sierra still has a pulse. The next truck on this list, it's already dead: Nissan Titan. A muscular design, a powerful engine, a brand with global recognition. And on paper, it looked like a smart alternative to the Ford F-150, the Chevrolet Silverado 1500, and the Ram 1500. Powered by a 5,600 cubic centimeter V8 engine producing 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque, the Titan offered solid towing capabilities, strong acceleration, and a smooth driving experience. It even had a reputation for a durable drivetrain, with many drivers reporting long-term reliability across high-mileage usage. Its frame was tough, its powertrain dependable, and its ride quality surprisingly refined for a non-luxury pickup. Despite the promising performance specs, the Titan never truly gained traction in the American market. It was stuck in the middle of a battlefield dominated by legacy brands with stronger identities. While Ford built its image on best-in-class towing, Ram leaned into upscale interiors, and Chevrolet focused on long-term durability and versatility. Nissan struggled to carve out a unique space. The Titan was not the most powerful, the most efficient, the most luxurious, or the most affordable. It was just there. And in the ultra-competitive world of full-size pickups, that kind of mediocrity is unforgivable. Adding to the trouble was the lack of meaningful updates. While competitors rolled out hybrid variants, advanced driver assistance features, and larger infotainment systems, the Titan remained mostly unchanged. Buyers began to notice. The truck's cabin felt outdated, the tech lagged behind, and the overall styling started to look stale. As the years passed, the Titan quietly fell out of favor. Then came the final blow: discontinuation. In the year 2023, Nissan officially announced the end of the Titan's production. From that moment forward, it became a truck with no future. For buyers, that sparked concern. When a model gets axed, resale value drops hard. Parts availability becomes a question mark, and long-term service support starts to erode. Suddenly, even a heavily discounted Titan became a risk most shoppers were unwilling to take. And now, here's where it gets worse. Even though production has stopped, dealership lots across the United States are still jammed with unsold Titans. According to recent inventory data, many dealers are sitting on more than 150 days worth of stock. That is a massive backlog for a vehicle that no longer has a production line. And dealers know they are stuck. They have slashed prices, rolled out huge cashback incentives, extended warranty offers, and 0% financing. Yet the trucks still sit untouched. The stigma of driving a discontinued truck continues to outweigh any potential deal. The Titan is no longer just a slow seller. It is a full-blown retail ghost, haunting showrooms with its presence. It is a case study in how a good idea, poorly executed and never properly evolved, can collapse in the face of sharper competition and shifting consumer expectations. And if the Titan died from being bland, the next truck is drowning in its own overproduction. Ram 1500. It was once the gold standard for comfort and class in a working man's truck, a machine that changed what Americans thought a pickup could be. The Ram 1500 delivered everything a modern truck buyer could want: power, comfort, and undeniable style. With available air suspension, rich interior materials like real wood and stitched leather, and a massive touchscreen infotainment system, it felt more like a luxury cruiser than a work truck. And that was the secret to its appeal. The Ram 1500 promised toughness, without sacrificing comfort, giving buyers the best of both worlds. It redefined expectations and proved that a truck didn't have to be bare bones to be capable. But in the year 2025, that winning formula has hit a wall. Right now, Ram dealerships across the United States are facing an overwhelming surplus of unsold inventory. According to the latest supply data, dealers are sitting on nearly 179 days worth of Ram 1500 pickups. That is more than double the industry benchmark for healthy inventory, which generally hovers between 60 and 90 days. And the longer these trucks sit, the more money they cost dealers in depreciation, floor plan interest, and lost opportunity. So what happened? It all started with a massive miscalculation. When demand surged in the years following the global pandemic, Stellantis, Ram's parent company, ramped up production at full speed. They assumed the momentum would last. It did not. As interest rates climbed, monthly payments became harder to manage. Buyers began holding on to their existing trucks longer, and the surge in demand began to cool. Unfortunately, Ram was late to notice. While competitors like Ford Motor Company and General Motors Company adjusted their production schedules quickly, Ram kept the assembly lines running and flooded dealership lots in the process. Meanwhile, price sensitivity among consumers skyrocketed. Even loyal Ram buyers started reconsidering their options as better deals emerged from Ford and Chevrolet. Many buyers were no longer willing to pay premium prices for a truck that, although well-equipped, was rapidly losing resale value. Competitors were offering 0% interest, thousands of dollars in cashback incentives, and deep markdowns. Ram, on the other hand, held firm on pricing, at least for a while. That delay cost them. Only recently has Ram begun responding with aggressive incentives. In many regions, buyers can now find discounts of several $1,000s off the manufacturer's suggested retail price on models like the Laramie, Longhorn, and Limited. Some dealerships are also bundling in cash bonuses, trade-in top-ups, and extended service plans to clear the lots. But even these offers have not been enough to make a serious dent in the backlog. The irony is that the Ram 1500 still offers a best-in-class ride, a top-tier interior, and plenty of power from its available 5,700 cubic centimeter V8 engine. But none of that matters if buyers no longer trust the value proposition. In a market that now prioritizes affordability and practicality over flash, Ram's luxury-first strategy has become a burden instead of a benefit. But if even Ram is in trouble, what does that say about the king of the road, Ford F-150? For more than 4 decades, the Ford F-150 has worn the crown as the best-selling vehicle in the United States. It has been the backbone of job sites, farms, and family driveways across the country. This truck built its legacy on durability, simplicity, and performance, earning the trust of millions who relied on it to do everything from hauling loads to towing trailers without breaking a sweat. But in the year 2025, that legacy is starting to crack. Right now, Ford dealerships across the United States are dealing with a massive and unprecedented problem. There are more than 120,000 unsold Ford F-150 models sitting on dealer lots. That number represents one of the largest overstock situations the model has ever faced. For a truck that used to sell itself, this is a troubling sign. So what went wrong? A big part of the issue is complexity. What was once a no-frills, do-it-all work truck has evolved into a high-tech machine. Modern F-150s come equipped with massive digital dashboards, hands-free driving systems, hybrid and electric powertrain options, and plush interiors that rival premium sport utility vehicles. While these features sound great in a brochure, they have created a disconnect with the very buyers who made this truck a legend. Traditional truck owners, farmers, contractors, and small business operators are now being asked to pay luxury-level prices for tech they do not want or need. Fully loaded trims can exceed $100,000, pushing the F-150 into direct competition with upscale vehicles that offer more comfort and prestige. For many longtime Ford buyers, the sticker shock has become a deal-breaker. Compounding the problem is competition from inside Ford's own lineup. The Ford Maverick, introduced in the year 2021, has captured a surprising amount of market share with its compact size, hybrid efficiency, and much lower price. Meanwhile, the midsize Ford Ranger offers a more budget-friendly alternative for buyers who still want capability without the bulk or expense of a full-size truck. These internal rivals have siphoned off would-be F-150 customers. Fuel efficiency is another issue plaguing the F-150. While Ford has made improvements, it still lags behind smaller pickups and even some competitors in the full-size category. And although hybrid and electric versions of the F-150 are available, they often come at a steep premium, without delivering enough real-world savings to justify the cost. With gas prices still fluctuating wildly, more buyers are prioritizing fuel economy than ever before. To address the crisis, Ford has rolled out massive dealer incentives. Buyers are being offered thousands of dollars off the manufacturer's suggested retail price, long-term low-interest financing, generous trade-in bonuses, and bundled maintenance packages. In some regions, dealers are even stacking multiple offers to clear out inventory faster. Yet despite these aggressive moves, inventory remains high, and buyer hesitation continues to grow. The Ford F-150 is still a capable truck. It still offers impressive towing, solid build quality, and a strong brand reputation. But for many buyers, it has become too expensive, too complicated, and too far removed from the dependable, straightforward machine they once loved. So, which one of these trucks would you take home if the price was right? Drop your pick in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more insider breakdowns just like this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.